Yep.
That bad fuck.
Just
That, what? There with the PG! Woohoo! Ugh.
Gosh damn it, Aaron.
Anyway,
Barely even started, you already went whoop.
actually, the stream has started.
Yes, it is live.
We are live.
Yay.
Can we keep the PG rating for more than 3 seconds, please?
Nope. No, Corbin, we
Once
can't.
you
Dang it.
once you started, there's no going back.
Yep. Once you go past PG-13, you never go back.
Never go back.
Well, that
Exactly.
explains why I'm never innocent.
You were never innocent. Shut the fuck up.
This is true.
Anyway,
Quiero.
stop that.
Damn it.
Anyway, as I was saying. Anywho, let's see. The burp.
Burr.
Burp.
Burr.
Anyway, Garvin, there's a cat girl in the waifu and husbando claim.
What the? You automatically assume I know who it is.
I mean, you might.
Which one? Oh, is it I have seen that character before. I do not know her name. Crap.
You don't know her name.
No, I do not. I'm an idiot.
Anywho. Ah. Quack.
Whack.
Quack!
Ow.
Why did we get so many ducks in here?
Quack.
Whack.
Yeah, Lex will know that character.
Anyway.
Oh.
Please spread that thing. Please spread that link around any server you're in, if you can. Excuse me.
You've got it.
Free. Anyway.
What the?
Also, Silver.
What happened?
Also, Silver. I need you to do something.
Sure. What's up?
I need you to type in the chat.
Alright. Which one?
Group.
No, not the group.
Oh, in the YouTube side.
Okay. In which server?
Nah, server babe in the stream chat.
Oh, okay.
At this point, I could care less if my streams get at this point. So you know what? Corbin. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. There you go, Silver. Good lord.
Is this gonna be turned into a Lion King musical?
No, it's just us being random.
We're always random and always will be.
Yep. What? Quack!
The father Sebby in the background.
Yes. He's being
God
random.
damn it.
Hi, Saiyan Princess!
I say, princess.
There's a Stanley.
Hello, Stanley. You better not pull any BS. Because you already got, yelled at by me.
So many warnings.
Very many warnings.
And people's patience can only rest so thin.
My patience runs very thin, very quick.
Yes, it is.
You hush. You can't.
Fucking
Oh
Varian!
my.
Varian's not in here. Hi, Ren.
Varian may not be in here, but I know subconsciously Varian is putting these fucking shit in my way.
Are you sure, especially about that box?
Ah!
Did you jump over it only to land into a hole?
Really, I jumped over it and smacked my face on a freaking door opening.
Hi, Baggy. Anyway,
Hi, Peggy.
Baggy from has been hotel. I don't fucking know. Anyway,
I don't fucking know either.
anyway, that. Ooh.
What the heck, babe?
That was random.
I shake and make that noise after I'm yawn. You sound like I'm motorboating.
I mean, you know, shoves Hokage's freaking face in Silver's boobs.
There you go.
What?
The noise Silver made though, just like
When I meant join, I meant for the mods, you dork. Rin. I needed my mods. Butthole. Burr. The burr? Burr? What the fuck? Okay.
hey, what's going on?
Herb.
I'm trying to find a photo to use. Okage!
Mhm.
I know that was you. I knew that was you, boy.
You may think whether Erin's not paying attention, but she knows all.
Should I go with Android 18?
Hi, Xavier. Oh, look, there's some Deku photos. Anyway, scrolling down. Oh, burr. Oh, there's Bakugo. Or I should say Bakuho. Anyway.
Okage, are you doing popping noises again?
Wait, are?
Boy, don't make me say your actual name. Don't make me say your name with your dad's name.
What was that?
Mark Yagi.
Oh shit.
Stop.
Oh, you fucked up.
Before I whoop your ass. Or I'll toss you to your dad. Fucking Rin's like, you kids behave and call her. Mama Tay is gonna ground you. Oh shoot. Silver needs to be in the Heroes Tavern.
So does Lily as well. She's waiting for an invite if you want to send her one too.
I didn't know she would need. Are you okay, Corbin? Did you fall in a hole again? Oh, by the way, that was my fault.
Damn it.
Yeah, Silver can do Majin Android 21, but so can I. I can do Majin 21 too. Don't put it past me. Behave! Anyway. Silver!
Yes?
Join the server, please.
Okay. You got it.
Do.
There we go.
Now. I don't remember if you're supposed to be a child or if you're a grandchild of mine. I need to go back to the other server.
Child.
I'm a child.
Yeah, you're a child. That's what I
I'm
thought.
the second one.
You're a child. And you know what? You're gonna be like Corbin. You're gonna be a child of Loki.
I have a sister.
Loki.
You get. Anyway. Anyway, back to me looking for my thing. Burr.
Are you okay?
No, I'm losing my mind here.
That's not a first.
Boy,
What?
I was talking to Corbin. Boy,
Boy. Why?
I'm okay.
oh look, my Sonic the Hedgehog, freaking references. Let's see.
I'm like a dad. Then one right here.
I'm about to smack the fuck out of all of y'all except for Silver.
What did we do?
Everything.
But I'm not Max.
No, but you're his son though. Oh god, there's 8 people watching, and Tweeny's not even in here.
Well, this is first.
Hello to the 8 people here. Anyway.
Hello.
Oi.
What the? Don't you start doing that stream. Don't you tell me it's offline and then don't.
Stream's being a butt.
Yeah, it was being about to Riku earlier saying his wasn't popping up at all. And he was trying to stream Danganronpa.
What, Corbin?
What?
Excuse me. Anyway.
Nice. Mr. Doggo.
Oh, there's 9 people now. What the heck? Where are you people coming from? I'm gonna pull a Patrick. Who are you people?
Actually, they're everywhere and nowhere.
Hey, don't take my fucking line. I'm everywhere and nowhere. I'm everything and nothing. I am the deity of balance. And the deity of reality. So
I thought that was Sebi.
he's the god of reality. I said deity. Deity and a god are 2 different things.
I was copying something out of Hellsing Ultimate. I don't know what.
Schrodinger. I know that line out of anyone.
So, I apologize for that.
It's okay. It's over. Stop apologizing for everything.
And I finally got some gum gum.
But you're not a dum-dum, though.
Touche.
That's Max.
And that's why you have him called Daddy Dumbass in Heroes Tavern.
Yep, that is exactly why I named him Daddy Dumbass. Because Max is a dumbass. Hashtag Max is a dumbass in the chat, please. Don't actually.
Max,
Even though-
it's like Max just appears in chat. What the fuck you guys call me a dumbass for? Because you are one.
I wouldn't
Even
put...
though his profile pic is Alucard.
Yeah. He's still a dumbass.
No! No, we're not roasting each other. We're just being silly.
It's just a natural joke within the family.
It's just a joke within the... as Daddy Muscles, aka Broly, would say, welcome to the fucked up family, son! Cause, children are children, and they're not only are they children, but they're also grandchildren, and they're nieces and nephews at the same time, and yeah. I don't want to go into complete detail, because they would just confuse everybody.
For everyone who's already confused as is.
You hush.
I'm just saying.
Your ass is always confused.
So is Trey. We're always confused.
Trey's your dad.
Very true.
Oh, shoot. I forgot.
What?
I needed to start sharing what I was drawing. I forgot. I forgot about it.
You've been letting your symbol show the whole time.
Yep.
That
I get that from Max. That's why he's called Daddy Dumbass. Because his dumbass shit rubs off on everybody.
Yeah.
I think I did pretty good with those eyelashes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, need to fix these ones.
what?
Everybody ignore my background. That would be Sebi Moon the Nerd Q listening to TikToks. And if he knew that I was streaming and that people could hear him singing, he probably would never let me live it down. Actually, hashtag Sebi's a great singer in the comments, please. Thank you.
He is a good singer.
I'm a good singer too.
I am not the best, I will admit that.
I don't like that. I don't like that. Ugh. He claims he's bad at singing.
I really got Rain Blade from new move. In case you want to know who Rain Blade is, that's my Empoleon.
I'm half tempted to yell at Sebi and tell him that people could hear him.
Just to see his reaction.
Yeah.
Yes, that'd be good.
Sabby! Hang on, guys.
Okay.
Sabby! You do know that my stream can hear you singing, right?
Oh shit! I call it.
By the way, there was a hashtag Sebby's a great singer in the chat. He went quiet.
Hashtag Sebby is being a tsundere in the comments, please.
What was this?
Hashtag Sebby's a tsundere.
I mean, I know he's the ultimate dairy, but right now he's acting more like a tsundere.
You mean like you do on a daily basis?
I mean, like Snek.
Oh.
And, Lulu. Should I try to get another reaction out of him?
Do it.
Sebby! He's ignoring me. He's ignoring me.
I'll do it. Debbie!
Oh my god.
That's my attempt on the female version of Koi and Cloud Samasu.
Hey now. We're not gonna talk about that partial man salute. And yes, I called Zamasu a man. I wasn't talking about you, freaking Rose. I was talking about freaking Zamasu. But you are a salute too.
Oof.
Ow! Oh.
Hang on, guys. I'm gonna try to get Sophie's reaction. Hang on.